What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. It is time for the most successfully predicted series on the channel, Serie A Week 3 predictions. And I said it in last week's video. I said, and I was brave enough to say this, that there was a 90% chance I would get a correct score prediction from last week's fixtures. And I did. Not only did I get a correct score prediction, I got 2 correct score predictions. We had AC Milan to beat Lecce 2-0. I actually had someone in the comments tell me that Milan were not going to get a win at all, let alone a 2-0 win. And I had Roma to win 1-0 away against Pisa. So again, it just seems likely that we're going to get a correct score for Serie A every week. The games tend to be lower scoring. I've gone for very similar here. All the games under 4 goals except for one, which I think could be an absolute goal fest, but that does lend itself to more correct score predictions. So make sure you drop a like, leave your predictions down in the comments. Flashing up on the screen are all the people that are supporting me over on the Patreon. And again, like I said in yesterday's video, special shout out to Uncle TJ, who won the $100 from the giveaway over on Patreon. So if you want to shout out in every video, access to exclusive members tips and accumulators, as well as a shout out, I think I just said that, shout out in every video and everything like that, then click the top link in the description. But Serie A, kicking it off, we have Cagliari up against Parma, and this, to be fair, this has correct score written all over it. Both teams are actually only on the 1 point. Cagliari losing 1-0 to Napoli and drawing 1-1 with Fiorentina. I feel like I got very close with that. I can't even find the where even is the prediction? Yeah, as expected, the Cagliari draw with Fiorentina 1-1. We did correctly predict exactly. Parma drawing with Atalanta, that was a bit of a shock, and the 2-0 loss to Juventus, I'm pretty sure we correctly predicted that score as well. So I think I got a good handle on this. I think we're going to get a correct score again, to be honest. I'm going to go for another 1-1 draw, and the tip, it is the highest odds tip of the video, but very closely contested by 2 others. The tip is going to be both teams to score and under 3.5 goals at 3.1. After this, it's Juventus up against Inter Milan. This is a really big fixture. Early on in the season, Juventus slight favourites, but realistically can't separate the two. Inter losing out to Udinese, big shock there. Juventus getting the 1-0 and the 2-0 win. I think I predicted 2-0 for both of those games right, one of them wrong against Genoa. I think this is going to be a close game. I think draw Juventus is going to rear its ugly head again, and I think they'll be happy with a draw, to be honest. I'm going to go 1-1, and the tip is going to be draw at odds of 3. After this, it's Fiorentina up against Napoli. Napoli, again, 2 wins, 1-0 to Cagliari, 2-0 Sassuolo. Fiorentina, 2 draws. Very interesting, not super exciting. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. I'm going to say 1-0 to Napoli, and the tip is under 2.5 goals at 1.57, which, funnily enough, has happened in all 4 of the games that Fiorentina and Napoli have been involved in so far this season. After this, it is Roma up against Torino. Torino 1 point with that 0-0 draw against Fiorentina, and they lost 5-0 to Inter Milan. I think Roma win this one. I thought about 3-0. I'm going to keep it simple at 2-0. Roma beating Pisa 1-0 and Bologna 1-0. They don't need to go crazy. They just need to get the win, just need to get the job done, and I think they're going to do it. And the tip, to bring these odds up here, I've gone for Roma and under 3.5 goals at 2.05, which realistically is Roma win to 0, but it does keep the 2-1 win onside as well. So that's 1-2, 3-0 or 2-1 to Roma. And I think at home, the Stadio Olimpico, they do get the win here. After this, it's Atalanta up against Lecce. This is time for Atalanta to... No, it's not. Yes, it is. I just scrolled right past it. This is the time for Atalanta to get the win on the board. 2 draws against Parma and Pisa. 1-1. Unexpected there, but I am going to go for a big win here. 3-0. Lecce losing 2-0 to AC Milan as we predicted and drawing 0-0 with Genoa. I think I might have predicted Lecce to win that 1-0 actually, and they didn't. So 3-0 to Atalanta. I'm saying they finally get the win that they need, and my tip is actually going to be Atalanta -1 handicap at 2.2 high odds. I think it's fairly likely. After this, we have Pisa up against Udinese. Udinese with a massive win against Inter Milan and drawing with Verona. I mean, Verona not particularly good themselves, so this result is just, it really is shocking. Pisa losing 1-0 to Roma and 1-1 with Atalanta. These are good results for Pisa, really. I mean, if you told them they'd get a point from these 2 games, it sounds crazy, but I think they'd probably take that. And I think they're going to get a point here. I know Udinese's win against Inter Milan is mental, but I'm going to say that this ends in a 1-1 draw. I've actually tipped under 2.5 goals at 1.61. But if you are very confident that both teams do score, absolutely look at both teams to score an under 3.5. That'll get you odds of about 3, and it allows for a higher scoring 2-1, which of course under 2.5 goals doesn't. But I'm just not certain on the result here, so I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Now here we have Sassuolo up against Lazio, and this is the one game that I think is going to go bonkers with goals. We look at Sassuolo's results. They lost 3-2 to Cremonese, which is mental, and they lost 2-0 to Napoli. It's funny that actually I forgot about that result, but that is kind of what I'm going for here. Lazio beat Verona 4-0. They lost to Como 2-0. I'm going to go for a mental game. Another 3-2 loss to Sassuolo, 3-2. But the tip, because again the result market is just a little bit techie, rarely do I ever tip this in the Serie A, but it's going to be both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at odds of 2.2. So that's 2-1 either way and above. I think both teams score, but Lazio are not without their problems, and Sassuolo can score. They scored 2 against Cremonese in their last game, so I'm going for a 3-2 win. Following this, AC Milan up against Bologna. Milan winning 2-0, losing 2-1. That was mental. Bologna winning 1-0 and losing 1-0. I'm actually going to go, it's a little bit boring, I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw. I say it's boring in theory, but you can have closely contested, intriguing 0-0 draws, and as a prediction goes, if you can correctly predict a 0-0, that is a belter of a take. So I'm going to just go for it, go 0-0, could be 1-1, could be 1-0 either way, could be 2-1 either way, I don't really know. So I'm just going to chuck a 0-0 in there, and the tip is going to be under 2.5 goals at odds of 1.9. Pretty high odds for a game that should really be quite low scoring. Following that, we have Verona up against Cremonese. I'd love to say Cremonese get another win, and obviously with that, send them even further up the table with Juventus dropping points as we've predicted. But Verona, they need to bounce back. They need to get something. I'll say they get a draw. But again, the full 90 classic, the tip is going to be both teams to score an under 3.5 goals at 3. But if Cremonese can get another win against the odds and be on 9 points, I mean, you have to say they look good to stay up and not be relegated, even as early as 3 games in, being, 9 points ahead of the likes of Sassuolo potentially. So brilliant start for them, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. The final game, it's Como up against Genoa. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Como win, and the tip simply is going to be Como to win at 1.66. That's the only result market where I've just outright tipped a winner in this video. I think it's really intriguing with the goals in this video. Both teams to score, both teams scoring under, but let's have a look at the picks. So there you have it. As I said, each game 3 goals or less. Most games 2 goals or less, other than Atalanta 3-0, Como 2-1, and then the Sassuolo Lazio one, which has gone absolutely mental. All the other games are under 2.5 goals. Serie A classic. I think it's likely that we will get a correct score. Again, if I had to pick my favorite 2 picks for a correct score, it would be Napoli to win 1-0 away or Roma to win 2-0 at home. So those are my picks for Serie A. If you did enjoy this video, please do drop a like and subscribe. Let me know your predictions down in the comments. What result do you think I've got wrong here? Do you think Lazio are going to bottle it away to Sassuolo? I could see that. Do you see a winner between AC Milan and Bologna? I think if I had to pick my 3 where maybe I've got it wrong, I think Lazio could basically throw it against Sassuolo and drop points. I think AC Milan could beat Bologna at home, and I think we could potentially see a winner between Juventus and Inter Milan. But also even Napoli, like 1-0, it's only 1 goal, it's only 1 moment, and if it is 1-0 to Napoli, you just know that's coming in the second half. So Fiorentina won't ever be out of that fixture in my opinion, so keep an eye on that. But that is going to do it for me in this video. If you did enjoy it, please do drop a like. Last Serie A video, someone said, where's La Liga? Generally, assuming all the upload schedule is the same and there's not extra game weeks and stuff like that, I will upload Serie A at 4 p.m. and La Liga at 6 p.m. on the same day. So that'll be in a couple of hours. Keep an eye out, and I'll see you in that video very soon.